Hey guys, Jamie Osborne here, Weichert Realtors Benchmark. Wanted to take a minute today and talk about something that is pretty important. It's pretty important. We actually have a form that's required for every single transaction that all the buyers and all the sellers have to sign, so that just like a, please pay attention type thing, this is a big deal. In today's market, essentially with attorneys, a lot of them aren't accepting checks for down payments. If you're buying a house cash, they won't let you bring in a suitcase full of cash these days. All the funds have to be wired in. And so what I want to talk about is wire fraud. So this is actually a really big deal. It doesn't happen that often, but when it happens, it is devastating. Okay? If you've ever had your bank card number stolen and somebody took out $400 or $500 out of your account, or $1,000 out of your account, or whatever amount out of your account, you know how frustrating and angering and upsetting that can be. But then you call the bank, you file the correct forms, and then essentially the bank says, okay, gotcha, here's your $50 back, here's your $150 back, here's your $1,000 back. It's actually happened to me twice this year, where I had some fees or some charges to my account that weren't mine, and the bank refunded the money after I filled out some forms and whatnot. When we're talking about wire fraud, it's going to be on a much larger scale. So imagine you're buying a $300,000 house and you're putting 20% down, and so your down payment is $60,000, and you wire that and wire fraud happens. Well, in this scenario, it doesn't go back in your account. That $60,000 is essentially gone forever. So if you can imagine that happening, that's how important it is that we make sure that everybody understands it's a big deal, and you've got to take precautions to make sure that it doesn't happen to you. So we require this form. Everybody requires this wire fraud warning form. But essentially, the steps that have to be taken to make sure that you're protecting yourself is you're going to get a phone number. So you're going to call the closing attorney, and you're going to ask them to send you their wiring instructions. Now, you're not just going to go to some email that you've received that says call this number and get wiring instructions. If you get that email, you need to go online and search for the phone number of the closing attorney's office, or get it from your real estate agent. Don't just take that number off of an email that you received and call it. So once you've gotten a number from a different source, not that you received an email from, okay, you're going to call them and you're going to say, hey, the wiring instructions that I just received through an email, I need to verify them. Some attorneys have it set up one way. Some attorneys give you like a 4-digit PIN number so that they can verify that you are who you are because they gave you a PIN number. Sometimes you'll have to give them the last 4 of your social. I mean, different attorneys have it set up different ways, but essentially you're going to call someone on the phone, and you're going to have the wiring instructions that they sent you possibly printed out. That would probably be the best way to do it. And you're going to confirm with them all the things that they have sent you on this piece of paper. And then you're going to take those wiring instructions, and you're going to go to your bank, and you're going to say, hey, I need to wire these funds to a closing attorney. Why it's so important is that on a personal level, I've had it happen to one of my closing attorneys. Somebody that he was working with received an email from his email account, and had this guy not known or had worked with this closing attorney on a regular basis, he would have not noticed it. But he picked up the phone and called my closing attorney and said, hey, did you switch banks? My closing attorney says, no, I didn't switch banks. Why did you say that? Well, I just got these wiring instructions from you, and they're different from the ones we did a month ago, and the month before that, because this is an investor, and they work together on a close basis, and they close a lot of deals together. Anyway, it happened to someone I know, and he saw the email, and it came from his email account, and it was fraudulent wiring instructions. So it is very, very important. You receive that email, you verify the phone number from a third party, you print out the wiring instructions that you got, you call the phone number, you confirm the wiring instructions that you've already got printed out, and then you take it to a bank to make sure that the money gets from you to them. Because if it gets from you to somebody else, that's traceable. But once it goes from this account to another account, it's gone. It's completely gone. It's untraceable. So you could lose a large amount of money, and that's just something you don't want to take a chance on. So make sure when you're wiring funds, you know exactly where the funds are going, and you verify. Personally verify. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. You guys have a good one. Thanks. Bye.